Olá, bem-vindo todos. Eu sou Ricardo Lopes Cardoso, coordenador do programa de mestrado acadêmico e doutorado em administração aqui da EBAPE, a Escola Brasileira de Administração Pública e de Empresas da Fundação Getulio Vargas. É um prazer recebê-los para esse nosso webinar, onde a gente explica o programa, os objetivos do programa e o processo de seleção para a turma de 2022. As opiniões que eu expresso aqui são pessoais, não falo em nome da Fundação Getúlio Vargas, nem da escola, mas serei o mais objetivo possível para focar a apresentação do programa em si. Considerando que o programa é em inglês, eu já vou passar a falar em inglês por questões óbvias de coerência. E só mais um comentário, é que vocês todos são muito bem-vindos a enviar perguntas. Tem o canal aí de enviar perguntas por escrito. Fiquem à vontade para redigir as perguntas, seja em português ou em inglês. E ao longo do evento, conforme eu for recebendo as perguntas, eu vou respondendo, e o que eu não responder ao longo, eu respondo ao final, tá ok? Por favor, fiquem à vontade. E se vocês quiserem que eu leia o nome de vocês, por favor, se identifiquem ao fazer a pergunta. Se vocês preferirem permanecer no anonimato, basta não se identificar ao fazer a pergunta. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this webinar about our Master and PhD program in Administration from EBAPE, the Brazilian School of Public and Business Administration from Getulio Vargas Foundation in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. My name is Ricardo Lopes Cardoso. It's a pleasure to receive you all here to show you about, to disclose what our program is about, and explain the selection process for the next cohort that will start in January 2022. Now I will start sharing my screen. I hope you all can see it. So there we go. We are talking about the academic program, the MSc and PhD in administration. My name, as I just said, is Ricardo Lopes Cardoso. Well, I think I look quite different from the picture there. And we also have Daniele Santos, the program manager. She's with us here today following this webinar. So difficult questions, she can help me answering you. We have the help and the assistance from Blanche Davis. And in the admissions officer, we have all the grateful assistance from Danusa Vasconcelos. She's also following this webinar, and she's definitely able to answer most of the questions related to the selection process. About the program, the first words I need to say is that the program of academic graduate studies in administration at FGV EBAPE is composed of the master and the PhD in administration. These two courses are interconnected and share the same values and principles. Here in Brazil, the Ministry of Education, under the umbrella of CAPES, evaluates the master and PhD programs and attribute a grade between 3 to 7, where 7 is the highest grade. And we are very proud of this certificate. We have received the highest grade from CAPES. So you are welcome to a high-level program, as we can see from the assurance from CAPES, as well as from the assurance of AACSB and EFMD Equis that also accredited our school and our program. As I said, both master and PhD programs in administration here at EBAPE share the same values, but they are different courses. So what's the main difference between our master and our PhD in administration? Very simple. The master aims to prepare students for PhDs, either at FGV. We would be very proud, and we are very proud when our graduates from the master join us and continue studying with us here during for the PhD, as well as we are very happy when they succeed in a position in a PhD program in another high-level university, either here in Brazil or abroad, as well as when they go to the job market. So this is the main purpose of the master, is to prepare you to become a PhD student in a high-level university and or to join job market straight away. On the other hand, the main purpose of our PhD program is to prepare you for the academic career as a research professor. And we hope that you will succeed in your academic career in high-level universities, as again, in Brazil or abroad, and as well as in other academic institutions anywhere in the world. Not necessarily universities, but think tanks and equivalent high-level institutions that dedicate to research. Why would you consider studying with us? So we organize our thoughts about on trying to answer this question under these 4 pillars. We have a world-renewed faculty. We offer a high quality and rigorous training. It is an inspiring academic experience. And we have top-notch students in our cohorts. So based on these 4 pillars, I see that most of the candidates that apply to our program answer these questions, simple question based in 2, 3, or 4 of these issues. So we'll try to explain you a little bit what we mean by each of these pillars. The world-renewed faculty. Our faculty has a mature international experience. Most of us graduated from high-level universities outside Brazil. Many others taught in high-level universities abroad, or went for sabbatical, or are usually invited as visiting scholars in high-level universities all over the world. In addition to that, we do international-oriented research. All of us regularly publish papers on academic journals, international, high-level, top-notch academic journals, first year. And in addition to that, the productivity of our faculty in publishing papers, rigorous academic research papers on first-year international academic journals in the field of administration and correlated areas is incomparable in regard to our peers here in Brazil, other schools, other business schools, I mean. The quality and rigorous training. Our program is fully taught in English. Of course, the language you speak does not mean that it is rigorous nor high quality, but what I mean by that is simply that English is the common language of science. Most of the theories and other papers that we cite are written in English. And then this understanding, discussing other published research in order to contribute in the field, building on our own research on that same venue, is much more productive if we discuss the papers published in English, already discussing them in English, and then writing our own papers in English, so it is one step closer to being able to submit them to international journals. So that's why our program is fully taught in English, definitely. The most important issues related to the high quality and rigorous training are the fact that our program is designed for full-time dedicated students that dedicate themselves entirely to the program. And the program works in partnership with 3 very productive research centers from FGV EBAPE. I will talk about them in more details. Talk about the fact that the program is designed for full-time dedicated students. Our master program considers that you will finish your master in a 21 months period. It means that classes will start in January for the next cohort, 2022. So you will have until September 2023 to defend your master thesis. It's a 21 months program for the master. Definitely, it demands your full-time dedication to the program. Otherwise, you might face serious difficulties on coping with all the demands from the program, especially considering the short-term period. I mean, 21 months is definitely pretty short-term, considering all the credits you need to take and the thesis, the master thesis you need to write and defend. And for the PhD, it is a 4 years program. It's a 48 months program. And although it is a little bit more than double the time of the master, it's also pretty short, I might say, considering that most of our PhD students write a master PhD dissertation comprised of 3 papers, 3 independent academic papers, and writing 3 high-level academic papers in such a short term is a huge challenge, considering all the credits you also need to take. So the program is designed for students that do not work, that do not perform professional activity. We hope that our students are fully dedicated to the program. And we don't exercise any specific enforcement on that. We don't check if you work or not. We don't care much about that. Of course, if you intend to receive a scholarship, you shall not work, because it's a requirement from the federal government, either from CAPES or CNPq here in Brazil, or FAPERJ. They all of them demand that is a prerequisite for eligibility for receiving scholarship, not working. So in that case, we need to double check this information. But our most concern is that you really participate in the course, get A's and B's in the program, and publish papers and do research with your colleagues, your classmates, your professors, and so on. And you have a full academic experience. This is what we expect from you. And that is not feasible or very difficult to cope with if you are working in addition to your duties as a student. In addition to that, let me explain the structure of the master program that I said is a 21-month period. You shall take many courses. I mean 14 courses, in total 28 credits. Each course is 30 hours in classroom, plus I would say 60 hours outside the classroom. So 14 courses, considering 30 in classroom, plus on average 60, is a quite time-consuming program. Among these courses, you shall take some method courses. I mean, the statistics 1A, 1B, qualitative data collection and analysis, or comparative historical methods, and one more method course. So our master and PhD programs, that is you see in the following slide, very focused on methods, on academic, rigorous academic method. In addition to the method courses, you shall take specific courses related to the research track that you will choose. As you will see in the following slides, we offer 4 different research tracks. You shall choose one among them to take, if you are a master student, at least 4 courses among the courses related to the specific research track that you choose. And on the top of that, 5 elective courses. Notice that what we call elective courses are either additional method courses that you decide to choose to take, additional research track courses that you decide to take, or as elective courses, any courses from the other research tracks that we offer, as well as we allow you to take at most 2 elective courses outside FGV, outside our program. So you can go to another school within FGV, or you can either go to another university and take courses there at up to 2 and bring the grades that you receive there to be accounted for as an elective course among these 5 up to 2 taken abroad. So we are quite flexible in that regard. In addition, if you publish a paper in an academic, a high-level academic journal during your master period, we can consider that as an elective course as well, because definitely all the efforts you need to take in order to being successful on getting a paper approved for getting published on an academic journal, a high-level academic journal, that's so time-consuming, the experience so exciting that deserves at least 1 elective course, at least 2 credits for sure. In addition, you shall attend to the graduate seminars for a 1-year period, and you need to work with your advisor during your working on your master thesis. So in total, you will take these 14 courses that you can count here, plus the graduate seminars, the research, supervised research seminars, and defending your master thesis. It gets up to 34 credits, equivalent to 510 hours in classroom, plus your dedication outside the classroom. And for the PhD, it's quite similar to the structure of the master, with some slight differences that I will highlight right now. Regarding the method courses, you shall take machine learning in business research, panel data analysis, and 4 other method courses that you may choose. You shall take 5 courses from the research track that you decide to follow your studies. 4 other elective courses, and the rules for elective courses are the same I just presented previously. Additional method courses or additional research track courses or courses from other tracks we offer, as well as up to 2 courses from outside our program, or publishing a paper in a high-level academic journal. And you shall, as well as master students, attend to 1 year of graduate seminars and work with your advisor during your research or your PhD research that will end up with your PhD dissertation. In total, you shall take 17 courses that are equivalent to 36 credits. Each credit is 15 hours in classroom, plus twice this time on average dedication outside the program, outside the classroom. And all these other activities like the qualifying, the presentation of your research project, and the defense of your thesis and master dissertation, thesis and PhD dissertation. In total, you make 48 credits that are equivalent to 720 hours, plus your dedication outside the classroom for those courses, as I just said. I know that it's too much information. All this information is explained in the rules of the program that are available in our website. I exhort all of you that are really keen to take this program, to apply for our selection process. Please read the regulations, read the rules of the program before applying. And if you have any question, please send us an email. You have Danuse's email. We will be very happy to help you understanding the program the best way as possible. As I just said, we have 4 research tracks, and they are institutions, policy, and government, coordinated by Professor Ricardo Pereira; behavioral and decision sciences, coordinated by Professor Ishania Gaval; strategy management and organizations, coordinated by Professor Olivier Bertrand; and finance, coordinated by Professor Lars Norden. If you are intending to apply to this selection process, please take a look on this website. Take a look on the CV of our professors, the whole faculty, not only the leaders of the research tracks, but the whole faculty, I mean, and see which of them do research that are closely related to your research interests. And feel free to send him or her an email about your research, what we intend to do while you will be studying with us as a master or PhD. Go there, talk to us, send him or her an email about your expectations on the research, and double check if he or her really do research on the area that you would like to do yours, master thesis or PhD dissertation. Read the papers that we publish, and so get engaged as soon as possible. And especially try to identify if he or her would be keen to supervise you in your research as a master student or PhD student. And about the research centers, as I said, EBAPE hosts 3 research centers: the Center for Behavioral Research in Rio, coordinated by Professor Eduardo Andrade; the Center for Banking and Finance Research in Rio, coordinated by Professor Lars Norden; and the Applied Research Center in Accounting and Analytics, coordinated by myself. So you can also take a look on the web page of the research centers. Take and follow the kind of research we do. Most of them are published or disclosed in our website. We used to offer some annual or biannual events or seminars or colloquiums within the scope of these research centers. And you are welcome to join us, to attend, to participate in these colloquiums, these research initiatives, as well as some of these events were recorded and the links to the video of previous events are available on our website. Talk about the inspiring academic experience. I already said that both master and PhD students shall attend to graduate seminars for 1 year. The first year they enroll in the program. But what are the graduate seminars? Graduate seminars are sessions that we offer, 5 sessions per quarter, in total 20 meetings during a year, where we invite visiting scholars to present their research projects that are still underway or that they have just published it, and brand new research. And so what's interesting there, in addition to being able to learn from the researchers that have prepared such piece of research during 45 minutes, 1 hour, with Q&A sessions, so you can ask as many questions you intend to relate to the research, because we hope that you will read the papers in advance for the sessions. After that session, that more formal session, we ask the visiting scholar to be available for discussing with our students any kind of question that our students are interested to ask. For instance, if we are receiving a visiting scholar from abroad and you would like to know what you should do to apply for a doutorado sanduíche in his or her university, or how you should do to apply for, if you're a master's student, you want to go there to do their PhD in his or her university, you can ask about the selection process for from his or her university for the PhD program, as well as if you are finishing your PhD here with us, you can ask about the job market in his or her university or in their country. So it's a very, very interesting opportunity for our students to keep in touch with other high-level scholars from outside FGV, not only from abroad, but many peers, high-level colleagues that teach here in Brazil. And talking about internationalization, international exchange, we are very happy when our PhD students get a position as a doutorado sanduíche abroad. We call such an interesting name, doutorado sanduíche, but the doctoral stay abroad. We just ask our PhD students to be careful, because they shall leave FGV, leave Brazil to go for the doctoral stay after they have received the approval on the first qualifying of their project, that is the conceptual paper being approved, and that might take place by the end of the 2nd year in the program or the beginning of the 3rd year in the program. And so we exhort our PhD students to stay no longer than 1 year abroad, so they can do their research there. They can also take additional courses in the university where they are going to. And it's very important that in addition to getting the approval from the conceptual paper, so we can stamp your passport and you can go, of course, as a coordinator, I need to double check if your advisor, the professor that's supervising your research, is happy that you go abroad. So you need to manage with your supervisor, the university where you intend to go, and all the bureaucratic issues that you need to sort out for preparing to go for a doctoral stay. Here, I'm focusing on the doctoral stay, but it's not so common, but some of our master students also well succeeded in going for a master stay abroad. So while they are our master students, they manage to travel and stay for a semester in another university outside Brazil. It happens, not so often as I would like to, but it also happens. And the same procedure. First, you need to get the approval on the research project, and then we stamp your passport and you can go, since you manage that with your supervisor. And about your colleagues, I'm very proud of the students that we have. You here are really top-notch students. It's so interesting how diverse our students are. What I mean by diversity here, geographical diversity and academic diversity, mostly what I'm talking about diversity here. I know that diversity is a commonplace nowadays, but it is, at least on these two perspectives, I can assure you. We have students not only from Brazil, and specifically not only from the Rio de Janeiro city. We have students from many different states and cities in Brazil. We have students from abroad. We have students from Russia, used to have 2 students from China, from, I always forget, Germany, Italy, Poland. Now for the next cohort, since the first round, we already approved a candidate from Mexico and another from Germany. So there are a quite diverse group of students regarding to geographical area and cultural environment, as well as academic diversity. You know, we are talking about a master and a PhD program in administration, but not all of our students are hold a bachelor in administration. Most of them do not. For instance, we have students with a bachelor degree in medicine, in physics, in psychology, in accounting, in economics, in law, in so many diverse areas, the engineering, of course. So you are diverse. And I'm pretty sure that this diversity means a lot in enhancing the academic experience that you can get from here, and sharing ideas and working together, especially co-authoring research with colleagues that think different from you. I say by myself, I learn a lot from when I discuss with colleagues with different background and different cultural background as well, not only academic background. So we hope you also feel very comfortable in such an environment. Now let's talk about money. We don't charge any tuition fee. The program is entirely for free. I will repeat it. All students accepted for the Master and PhD program will be exempted from any fees and duties. Again, we don't charge any tuition fee at all from you. In addition to that, if you are truly fully dedicated to the program, full-time dedicated to the program, you might receive a scholarship. So the program offers study grants to students for their upkeep based on the students' progress, performance, and full commitment studies under the program. So not only that you don't pay, you may also receive some money. In this case, the scholarships. So your investment is not your money. Your investment is your time, your dedication, your commitment, because we really want you to success. And if you perform well in the program, are fully time dedicated to the program, and in addition, you also work as a TA, a teaching assistant or a research assistant within the program, you might double your scholarship. So the program offers opportunities to students to double their scholarships. So it's you will not get rich with scholarship, I'm pretty sure, but definitely it might help you in upkeeping and maintaining yourself in Rio de Janeiro, because I know it's an expensive city. Need to be fair with you. About the selection process for the next intake, the 22nd cohort, we are now running on the second round of the selection process. The application period goes until December the 15th. You need to upload many documents in this application process, and we will analyze those documents. And depending on the quality of the documents you upload, because we make an assessment based on that, we might invite you for the interview session, and we will interview those that are pre-selected based on the documents they upload on December 21st and 22nd. And the following day, on the 23rd, we might announce the final results. So together with Santa Claus that will give you their gift, we will disclose you the final results of your selection process just before Christmas. And that will be a tight calendar. You have the following week between Christmas and New Year's Eve to enroll in the program, because classes starts on January 3rd. Which classes are these that start on the first week of January, the first Monday of January next year? Is what we call the leveling course. Is a basic statistics course that we call Statis Zero. In Portuguese, we call that nivelamento. That's a leveling course in statistics for during the first week. And then classes truly starts all the courses properly said, not the leveling, will start the following week on the Monday, January 10th. So that's why we have such a tight calendar for enrollment in the program. So please keep in mind that if you apply, you shall be able to cope with the requirements from Secretaria de Registros Acadêmicos, SRA, in time. I know that's a quite difficult period, especially everywhere in the world between holidays. The selection process, being more specific about the documents you shall upload. The documental analysis is the phase 1. You shall upload your undergraduate diploma, at least one of the standard tests like GMAT, GRE, AMPAD, or AMPEC, one of these English proficiency tests, IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge, APTIS, updated Lattes curriculum. Keep in mind that if you don't have Lattes CV under CNPq website, already done, you might work on that as soon as possible, including if you're not a Brazilian, we also require from any student to present this Lattes CV, a letter of intention. Why do you want to study with us? Of course, in English, because you will be evaluated by the faculty, and many colleagues from the faculty are not Brazilian, and they are not so comfortable on reading in Portuguese. So please, you need to write a letter of motivation in English. You shall also present 2 recommendation letters. Hopefully, these recommendation letters are from those that truly know you. Usually, PhD students, candidates for the PhD, ask their supervisors from the master or other professors from the master to write these recommendation letters, while candidates from the master used to ask their professors from the undergraduate program to write them recommendation letters. You shall also fulfill a form with many questions about yourself, including 2 of those research tracks, because you will apply for the program, the master or the PhD, but you might choose under this document which research track do you intend to do your research on. And considering that most of the candidates don't have a clear idea of the meaning and the kind of research we do in each of those 4 research tracks, we ask you to select 2 research tracks in order of preference. So your first best option and your second best option for research track. And that's very important because the faculty will interview you in this following phase that I will show here, are the colleagues that work in those 2 research tracks to which you selected, that you have your first and second best options. So I will make it clear. The interviewing selection committee, the selection committee that will interview you, are the faculty members that work on those 2 research tracks that you selected in the application form. And if you are a PhD, a candidate for the PhD, you, in addition to all of these documents, you shall also upload a pre-project of your PhD dissertation. It's a very objective pre-project. It's the length of the document is not important. If it's too long, it counts negatively to you, of course. Need to be focused and objective. It needs to be very right and with objectivity and clarity, making very clear what is your research project, what is the research problem that you intend to answer within that pre-project. And please keep in mind that you will not be required to do your master dissertation related to this pre-project. This pre-project does not necessarily will not necessarily dialogue with your dissertation 4 years from today. It's just a pre-project to know you better, to evaluate your ability to think on research. That's it. So please, for detailed information about the requirement documents, please access the public notice that is available on our website. If, based on this document analysis, you might be selected or not for the second phase. And what's the second phase? Is the interview. So this interview is in English for the same reason that I'm speaking in English right now with you. And due to the pandemic, it's still your interview will be in English, sorry, will be online. Most probably through Zoom. We will send you a link to a Zoom meeting. So you will meet not only with myself, but with our colleagues from the faculty, okay? Specifically those that work in those two research tracks that you choose. So that's all that I have prepared to present to you today. Please feel free to ask any question right now. Again, if you prefer not to be identified, to keep anonymity, don't write your name down there. If you want me to say your name, just write your name together with your question. And if you just remember or have additional thoughts or doubts later on, feel free to call us. I guess Danusa will talk to you on this phone. You can send us an email, admissions, EBAPE, FGV, BR, and please read our website. Again, get into this website, take a look on the faculty members, take a look on our CV. If you identify some of those professors that do research that you think are somehow related to your research interest, please select some of our papers, read those papers, and then send an email, try to make a call, a conference call with that specific faculty member to get a closer idea about the program, about his or her ability to supervise in the next year. And well, you are welcome. So now I will open for the Q&A session. If you don't feel comfortable to write your question in English, please write it in Portuguese. So Angelica asked about the international experience, when it happens, and if we offer any scholarship for our students to go abroad. Angelica, as I said, we stamp your passport to go after you, if you are a PhD student, after you have approved on your conceptual paper. And making it clear, you shall submit your conceptual paper once you have finished all the courses. So the first 2 years on the PhD, you have to conclude all the credits from the courses and submit your conceptual paper. So as soon as you get the approval on the conceptual paper, it means that you have taken all the courses you are required to, and then you can go and you can stay there during the third year of the program or the 4th year of the program. It's okay. And about the academic, any scholarship to help you maintaining yourself abroad. That's a very good question. The answer is, it depends. It depends on two issues. Some of our professors, some of the faculty members have a research project approved by CAPES under a program called PRINT, Programa de Internacionalização. So CAPES PRINT, some of us manage, coordinate a project under CAPES PRINT. And most of those projects have specific scholarship available for doutorado sanduíche. So If you are intending to do a specific research that is linked, specifically and clearly linked to the research project that we have under CAP Sprint, and that research project has a budget for doutorado sanduíche, most probably you will receive the scholarship for sure, most probably. The another requirement that you need to double check is that if the university where you intend to go to do your doctoral stay is affiliated to the CAP Sprint project. But if it's not, it's an issue that we can cope very easily to sort out. Now, if your research project is completely different, has no connection at all with any of the CAP Sprint projects that we have with budget to support you in the doctoral stay or master stay, that will be another issue that we'll need to sort out. I have faced that situation with many students since 2018 when we first received CAP Sprint, and I have managed to get some funds to support, to help our students to go abroad, but it's not for sure, or it's not as highly probable as if it were related to the CAP Sprint project. So that is kind of risky. Of not receiving any money is quite remote, but the risk is receiving a scholarship that's not enough to support all your financial costs of maintaining yourself abroad. And then you shall manage to get the funds from another source, like your own budget, okay? Regarding the PhD program, do I need to provide already during the application process a full research project? No. What we ask you to present is a pre-project of your PhD dissertation. Again, my goal in requiring PhD candidates to present, PhD applicants to present a pre-project is to evaluate his or her ability on writing a research proposal, on thinking about a research problem, the methods, the theory behind the research problem, the methodology you will intend to perform on trying to answer that research question and testing the hypothesis. But not necessarily you will develop that specific project 4 years after that, for during the following 4 years as your PhD dissertation, not necessarily. You please feel free to change entirely your research proposal while you are a PhD student. Actually, let me be very clear here. If you, a PhD student, defend a PhD dissertation 4 years from today, 22, 3, 4, 5. So by December 2025, if you defend a PhD dissertation exactly the same as those research pre-project you presented while on the application for the program next month, it will be an evidence that our program is not good. Because if you 4 years from today do perform the same research that you intended to do while you were applying for the program, it's because we haven't done our job. So please enhance your research knowledge, enhance your research ideas, and do better than your pre-project, okay? The third question. The 48 credits for PhD, how many ECTS credits would that be? Oh, that's a good question. Danusa, please help me answering that. I'm copying here on, where can I find you here? On the chat. Danusa, if you can help me, please, Danusa.
Sim, sim. Danielle is supporting us with the questions, and as the program, it is all referred in credits. It means that each courses of 30 hours would be equal to 5 ECTS. So 48 credits will be the same as 240 ECTS, okay?
Okay, but I never know how to answer that question, because the 30 hours that we count are inside the classroom. And as I understand from the metrics for ECTS, they consider all the efforts a student needs to do to cope with the credits, not only inside the classroom as well as outside the classroom. So if you said that it's equivalent to 5, I trust on you. Thank you, Danusa. And I hope the candidate is happy.
If they have any further question or need any further clarification about this, we can write them on email, okay?
Thank you indeed. Another question here, after the PhD program, are there opportunities to stay in Brazil working in an academic environment, or would it be difficult due to visa regulations? Yeah, we have the reciprocity diplomatic principle here. So if your country requires a visa for working, for Brazilian working there, most probably the Brazilian government will require you a working visa to work here. Is it difficult or not to get the working visa? I try to believe that high-skilled work people have no trouble on getting the working visa. This is, I might say, by my experience and the experience of my peers. So, and I might mean by high qualified people, those that conclude our PhD for sure are high qualified. And if you intend to perform academic work here in Brazil, you shall not face much difficulty, but you know, it's a governmental issue. It might depend on the government at the time and the relationship between both countries. So I cannot go further on answering you either yes or no, but it is possible. I don't know if Danusa, Daniele would like to help me answering that. Okay, probably not. So the fifth question, while taking classes abroad, do they count as electives? And the answer is sorry, no. Why? Very simple. There is a timeline. If you are a PhD student, for the first 2 years, you need to take all the credits, including the elective credits. And by the end of the second year, present and get the approval on your conceptual paper. Once you get the approval on your conceptual paper, you'll be allowed to go for a doctoral study. Said that, you can take as many courses you want abroad, but they will not count as elective courses to cope with the minimum courses required, because you will necessarily have completed all the courses in the first 2 years, and you will go abroad in the third or fourth year. However, although they will not eliminate or mitigate your duties on taking elective courses or mandatory courses here, of course, if you take courses there, you can bring the documents, the profile from the university where you did your doctoral stay, and we will include that in your profile here at FGV, but they will not count to eliminate those minimum credits as I explained before, okay? Question 6. At the start of the PhD program, is there any support from FGV helping to find an apartment, getting a Brazilian foreign ID, SUS registration, so on? Dani, can you please help me answering that?
Yes, of course. Just to inform that we will provide a welcome pack with all the information for the students so they can find how to provide the documents and so on. We also have on this handbook and the welcome pack the information about housing and everything about living in Rio. So we provide all the information and the students can get all the documents. But it's important to say that we don't provide any like special support or make an employee of FGV available to go to the student with to find apartment and so on. This is up to the students. We just provide information so the student can read information and find an apartment and go to the websites that we have here and so on. It's this.
And of course, we will provide you all the documents you will be required to present to the Brazilian authorities or necessary to get the visa. Like if once you are approved and you enroll in the program, we will send you straight away the documents stating that you are a student from FGV, that you study with us from January 22 until September 23 if you are a master, or December 25 if you are a PhD student, and in the format with the content that the Polícia Federal demands for issuing you the documents to get into Brazilian board. Isn't it, Dani?
Yes, it is. And also have our students, our international students that also can help the new students with this, with some information, and they are always available to provide information to the new students as well.
Yeah, that's very useful. Like other foreign students acting as a buddy, helping new students that also come from abroad, discussing about a good area to live in, or the kind of restaurant or what kind of activities you can do, especially if you're not from Rio, if you're not from Brazil. We introduce you to other students in a similar situation, so you can learn from them that just are living an experience that you are about to experience as well. Okay, thank you, Dan, for reminding me about that.
You're welcome.
There is another question here. Do I have to be present in Brazil for the entire time of the PhD? Are there any time off periods throughout the years of the program? Well, that's an interesting question. As I said, the courses will start on January 3rd, just after New Year's Eve, with the statistic 0, and then on the following week, on the 10th of January, with the courses properly set. And then our program is organized. That's a good question because I hadn't said that before. Our program is organized on quarters. So the first quarter follows our civil calendar. So the first quarter of the year, January, March, we have 10 weeks of classes there, 10 academic weeks, the first quarter. Then we have a small break, like 1 or 2 weeks. by the end of March, beginning of April, and then start the second quarter from April to June. And then we have 3 to 4 weeks of another break. And then on July, we offer the third quarter that goes until September. And then we have a break, let's say 2 weeks. And then we start the fourth quarter on October and goes until December, just before the Christmas. So our calendar is very tight. So there are very few specific weeks where we have the breaks in between the quarters, the academic quarters. However, especially for the break in the mid of the year, that for us is a winter break. If you are from the North Hemisphere, you are used to have your summer break by July or August. Here in Brazil, we have the winter break, that's that period of the time. And we managed to offer 3 to 4 weeks of winter break. However, we used to offer winter courses. You are not required to take any of the winter courses, but we invite you to take courses during the winter break. And then if you manage attending to those courses, and if it's in the interest of your research project that you attend to them, I would exhort you to do that. I'm talking about, for the master students, the first year of the program. That's very intensive first year, because you need to take all the credits within the first year if you are a master student. If you are a PhD student, you shall take all the courses within the first 2 years of the program. After that, after the courses, after the first year for the master, so the second year for the master student, or the third and fourth years for the PhD students, once you are not required to take any more credits, you don't need to stay here, properly said, but we do expect you to dedicate yourself fully, entirely to the program. I prefer that I meet my students regularly when I'm advising, supervising their research projects. So before the pandemic, I would like to meet them regularly in person in my office at the FGV. But nowadays, we got used to these online interactions, and most probably, not only myself and other colleagues of the faculty would feel quite comfortable on meeting with you through Zoom or another electronic venue if you need to be absent from Brazil after the courses. Now, your question is so good that it requires me to go further in answering that. Our program is a program that demands user to demand attendance. We demand attendance to classes, either before the pandemic as well as nowadays, where our classes since March last year are all 100% through Zoom, but the students are required to keep their cameras on, and we mark attendance and participation within classes. So it's a real-time program. Classes are not recorded to students' conveniences attending later on. It's a real-time program, a presential program, and due to the pandemic, we are mediating this interactions through the internet. Now, what do I expect will happen next year? Because we are talking about 2022, January 10th or January 3rd with statistical zeros, classes will start. I hope we will be back to the building. However, I am not pretty sure if we will be back to the building in the first week of January or in the second week of January, neither how we will be back to the building. The dean of the faculty is analyzing the pros and cons and the consequences of such a very relevant decision. And we will announce pretty soon in our website the decision that the faculty and the dean of the faculty will make, as well as for those that were approved in the first round that are already enrolled in the program. Danielle will send an email making pretty clear what such decision will be, as well as for those that apply to the program, apply for the selection process. As soon as we make such a decision, Danusa will send a similar email, making it clear for you if the courses will continue to be 100% through Zoom, if they will be 100% in the building, if you apply a hybrid system. We are studying all the possibilities, all the opportunities, and that's why we haven't made a decision yet. But as soon as we make such a decision, we will let you know. So finally, trying to answer the question, do I have to be present in Brazil for the entire time of the PhD? It depends. Sorry, regarding the last sentence. If we decide not to go back to the building 100% in presential, but either consider a hybrid system or keep 100% online in the beginning of the next year, so you would not need to be here. You could stay in your country, attend 2 classes from there, if this is the decision that we make, again, to keep 100% online or to make it a hybrid system. I'm not saying what we will do. We haven't made such a decision yet. As soon as we make that decision, we will let you know through email for those that are already enrolled or those that had already applied to the program, as well as we will announce that clearly on our website, including on the selection process page in our website, okay? For the PhD program, in which city are the research centers located? Okay, all those 3 research centers are located here in Rio de Janeiro at the EBAPE's building. Actually, the research centers don't have a specific office, a specific location. So the research center that I coordinate, the ARC ANA, is located in my office, as well as the Finance and Banking Center is located in Professor Zelai's office, and the Behavioral Research Center is located in Professor Eduardo's office. So it's much more a research forum than a laboratory properly said, okay, with equipment and a huge infrastructure, at least for now. Will there be only one supervisor assigned to each PhD student? Yes, yes. Let me make it clear. Now, when you apply to this program, you shall choose 2 among those 4 research tracks. I will invite all the faculty members that work in either of one of those 2 tracks to the selection committee to interview you. by the end of the year. And as soon as we decide which student will be selected to the program, we will assign you, if you are selected, we will assign you a supervisor. So together with the announcement of the results that you were selected, you will receive the information that you were selected to do your research on that specific track, one of those tracks, and to work with a specific professor to be your supervisor. That's why analyzing the curriculum of the faculty members, the kind of research we do, and specifically what kind of research we do related to any of those 4 research tracks is very important for your application. Especially if you take the opportunity to keep in touch with those faculty members that you would like to be your advisor. Talk to them, talk to us, discuss your research idea, and talk to him or her, try to see if he or she would be keen to supervise you, and I don't know, write your recommendation letter. It is all possible. And only one supervisor per PhD student. However, we accept in some specific cases, mainly on those cases that students go abroad to do their doctoral stay, we accept the professor from the university abroad that received you during your doctoral stay to be your co-advisor. So you might have, in addition to your advisor, a co-advisor if you go for a doctoral stay and the professor that received you there is keen to co-supervise your research here. And Patrick asks, is the Brazilian PhD from FGV officially recognized in Europe, UK, France, Germany, Spain, etc.? Officially recognized? No. But since it is accredited by international accreditations like EFMD and AACSB, you might not face difficulty on getting your PhD from FGV co-validated in your country if you submit your degree from FGV to another university that is also accredited by AACSB and EFMD. So this is a way to work on that. That's not difficulty. I mean that because some of our former PhD students are now professors in the US, in Canada, in Australia, in Europe. So it's if our former students, those that graduated from our PhD, are well succeeded in the job market in those countries, including Europe, as you focus, the answer is yes, it is recognized. I don't mean officially recognized because the way I understand the officially recognized is, as we have here in Brazil, we need to convalidate the diploma. I don't know if you are mean by that. And then in this case here, we need to submit the diploma that when we take a PhD abroad to another university here in Brazil that offers a PhD in the same area. Once we are accredited by AACSB and the FMD, if you take your diploma to get a convalidation in a similar university, most probably you will not face trouble on getting such a convalidation. I hope you understood what I said. If I didn't help, please, Patrick, you can ask more detailed about that. The opportunity to study in another country while you're doing master sounds great. Why aren't there many students doing that? What are the main difficulties? Time. Time is a huge constraint. As I said, during the first year, the first 12 months, master students are fully time dedicated to the courses they need to take, all the required courses, the minimum courses, and getting the approval on their research project. So after that, they have 98 months to actually do the research. So usually time is a huge constraint for master students to manage doing the research as while abroad, taking more credits or discussing research in a different environment with different people. Some manage to do that and they are very well succeeded, but most of them don't even try. That is the main reason, okay? Especially because if you decide to go abroad only after getting the approval on their research project, you most probably will not go, because you need to prepare yourself within at least 6 months in advance of traveling. You know, getting a visa, getting financial support either from FGV or from other means, getting the selection, being approved, being selected to take your master's stay in a specific university to do a specific research with working with a specific professor over there. It's also time consuming, but we will also take in the courses, and the courses are really demanding. We are demanding. It's also time consuming. So that's why, okay? Another question here regarding the PhD. Does EBAPE use to keep research with other programs, FGV SETI? Yes, I focused on the 3 research centers that are coordinated by the faculty members dedicated to the program. But the answer to this question is yes. It's much more dependent on the students' interest and the students' ability to open doors and to keep in touch with researchers from other research centers, from FGV, either from Rio or São Paulo or Brasilia or other schools. It's completely feasible. And we really welcome that initiative. But I'm here focusing, and I gave more emphasis to those research centers that are coordinated by the faculty members that are on a daily basis on our program, okay? Another question from Patrick, regarding the scholarship, in average, how much would that be on a monthly basis? Dani, I never remember those numbers. Can you please help me answering, Patrick? In reais, bolsa,
Yeah, sure.
mestrado?
Yes, for the master students receive an average scholarship about 1,500 reais, and the PhD students receive a scholarship from CAPES or CNPq or whatever. It's about 2,200 reais a month.
So talking about dollars amount, due to the exchange rate that's not good for Brazilian reais right now, it means something close to $250 per month for the master and $370 per month for the PhD. I know that sounds not enough, but remember that making such a conversion to dollars is meaningless, because although I have done, because you will spend money in reais, you will not spend money in dollars. So can you support yourself here receiving 2,200 reais per month? Yes. Will you have enough a surplus to spend with unnecessary expense? Definitely not. But you, as I said, if you are full-time dedicated to the program, and if you get engaged as a TA or a research assistant within the program, we can offer you the opportunity to double your scholarship. So if you are a master, you shall receive 1,500 from the federal government plus 1,500 from EBAPE. So it gets up to 3,000 if you are a master per month, master student, or up to 4,400 reais if you are a PhD student. And then you can live better way of life, let's say that. Right. But I hope you
2,200, right? 2,200
plus 2,200, 4,400 if they double the scholarship working as a TA or
but this
RA.
is a possibility. This is not
Yes.
what we pay. Yeah, just to make it clear.
And contingents to performing the TA activities or research assistant activities. Thank you. But in anyhow, I do hope that you will be so busy studying that you won't have time to spend money at all. So most people, just joking, Patrick. This is the answer that you have to you. 1,500 for master, 2,200 reais for PhD student. Danusa said that she had already answered some questions here in the chat. Okay. Is there any other new question, Danusa? I see that you have already answered many of them.
The time is going fast, so if they have any other questions or need better clarification on any points, they can mail me. So just send an email to admissions_ebape@fgv.br. And if it's something that is directed to you as a coordinator, we will forward that question to the coordination.
Yes. Thank
okay.
You. And will we make the video of this session available later on YouTube with the link at the program website?
Yes, it takes a few days, but you'll be on our website on information for selection process and also available on YouTube.
So if you didn't follow everything that I said, I know that I brought so many information today here. In a few weeks, this video might be available for you to watch it again. Okay. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your interest in the program. So many interesting questions that I have received here. And thank you, Danusa, Daniele, for helping me answering them. Thank you, Alessandra, and the other colleagues from GCON for helping me managing this webinar. Thank you all. Hope to see you in the interview session by the end of the year. Bye-bye.